You guys ever pull a worm out your butt before?
Getting milk.
I used to jerk off dogs a lot.
Khalyla Kuhn is a co-host on the Tiger Belly and Trash Tuesday podcast, but what she's most well known for is being Bobby Lee's now ex-girlfriend. That's not to say Khalyla hasn't started to carve out a path on her own, because she's definitely started to gain a lot of notoriety lately. People are finally starting to call her out for all the messed up things she's said and done, some of which we'll be discussing in this video. The first time I came across her was through the video of her and Bobby Lee playing the UFC video game. My initial thought, like many, was, damn, she is fine. And throughout the video, she showcased that she wasn't just good looking, but knew her stuff when it came to the UFC. Except for that weird ass armbar she did. I don't know what that's all about. But what was evident was the great chemistry between her and Bobby. So it makes sense that they went on to start a podcast together. Since then, a lot of things have changed. The two have had a pretty messy breakup, which Brendan Schaub hilariously played a part in, but they still continue to do a podcast together. And since she's been around for quite some time now, she's said and admitted a lot of things that deserve a little closer look, because it showcases that Khalyla Kuhn, albeit good looking, is quite the opposite on the inside. Like, she's openly admitted to not staying with Bobby if he wasn't rich.
If we were poor, Papa, we would be divorced because there's no way you know how to show me love.
What?
Because you throw money at my tears, and if we were poor, what would you throw at my tears?
I used to watch Tiger Belly regularly. She definitely used to say some weird and random stuff, but at that time, I didn't think much of it. However, over the last year or so, especially after their breakup, we've gotten to see her true colors, like how manipulative she is of Bobby, or when she went to Hawaii to get piped while he was in rehab, or the poems that she wrote a few years ago that show how manipulative and toxic she is. I won't be focusing on those things in this video, but if you want me to make more videos on Khalyla, let me know in the comments. What I really want to talk about is how straight up gross she is. The juxtaposition of her being viewed as Bobby Lee's sexy girlfriend to her real self, who's gross inside and out, is fascinating. So even if you don't know anything about her, you'll still find this video to be interesting. And to be honest, this was one of the harder videos for me to make. I've sat through I don't know how many hours of Brendan Schaub, I went through dozens and dozens of Lex Friedman's podcasts, but this was by far the worst, because at certain points I legit felt nauseous. So I'm glad I could share this day-ruining experience with you. If you hate this video as much as I hated making it, please be sure to leave a like. So for this first clip, let's hear her talk about pulling worms out of her. I want you all to focus on her face before she says anything, because you can tell she's debating in her mind if she should let her intrusive thoughts out or not.
Try to make a mold.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dang, that's beautiful.
And show it to my mom.
You guys ever pull a worm out your butt before?
Oh,
What?
hello.
What happened?
Cut. That wasn't part of the line, baby.
But I respect what you're talking about. And I respect all women, and I think that...
But you guys didn't have worms when you were younger?
No. Yeah, people did have them. I didn't get them.
Wait. So in the Philippines, you just get rando.
No.
worms in your asshole?
I was a real dirty kid. My dad didn't let us wear like even a t-shirt until we were like 11.
Your dad didn't let you wear t-shirts till you were 11? Bro, what? That sounds like such a Brendan Schaub lie.
We were just in our underwear.
Oh, yeah.
We were just like wild little Mowglis.
Yes.
And so I never wore slippers, and that's how you get worms. And I got worms, and I'd pull them out my butt.
Yeah.
I felt so good. I remember feeling
Oh
like,
my
wow.
God.
This is...
How big are we talking?
One of them was real long. I felt something slimy, and then I pulled it out, and I swear like my eyes rolled in the back of my head. It felt so good.
One thing about Khalyla is that she has a tendency of sexualizing literally everything. Even in this clip, everyone around her is like, what the f, girl, you nasty, while she's talking about her eyes rolling back from pulling the worm.
Yeah, I've just opted to free bleed.
You be free bleeding.
If I'm home and I have nowhere to be, I free bleed. And the dogs love it.
Wait, what'd you say?
No, Jules, that's too much.
Wait, because the dogs can smell it and they love it. So wait a minute, they eat the panties?
They like live in it. Julio is a big culprit, but they take turns. So like usually Julio will go first, and when he's done, then Gobi will kind of tag herself in.
Oh my God, rolling in it. Rolling in it. That's insane.
Wait for it.
Oh my God.
Andrew's the only one that seems to be having a logical response to this. Khalyla and the other girl, Rudy, are giggling like it's the funniest thing ever.
But like every man, look what he does at the end.
When he's done, when he's gotten what he needs.
Yeah.
Look what he gets when he needs. After he's had everything he's ever gotten, he's toiled around. He's ripping it apart a little bit.
But I just can't, they like it, so why would I?
This is like a post-workout. When he's done, he just shakes it off.
Like, bye.
I gotta get out of here.
And then the second one comes in right after.
That's tag team.
Yeah.
Tag team. Back
Leo's
again.
like, that one's a good one.
It just blows my mind that she thinks that this is totally normal. Her justifying it by saying, they like it, so why would I stop them, is fucking batshit crazy. And I'm gonna be an armchair psychologist here for a second and say I do think that there is some weird sexual gratification that she gets out of it. And the reason I say this is not solely because of the clip that we just watched, but what you're about to see next.
I'm getting milk.
I used to jerk off dogs a lot. But this isn't like a known thing. When I was younger, I learned from an older cousin.
Oh,
Jerked off tons of dogs,
babe.
yeah.
Come on, man. I believe it. I know I believe it, but I don't want to hear it.
It's really weird how she brings up these random ass stories out of nowhere. Maybe she's trying to get attention or thinks it's funny. I don't know the exact reason, but it's just so weird. She has to a certain extent, think that this is normal or okay to be so open with these stories.
Now I'm watching Fritter hump George's leg, and George is just letting it happen.
Yeah, when Fritter does that, he doesn't have an erection. So what is all that?
Yeah, he
about?
does it to me. I'm
It's
like,
instinctual.
Why? She's
But I used to jerk off like
not Fritter.
also
Fritter.
also I'm not a fucking puppy file because I only jerked off full-grown dogs who still had their balls.
Oh really? They were full-grown dogs. Oh, okay, that makes sense and totally clears the air.
And so we had a lot of dogs, and dog in particular named Rolly. He had his balls. He was intact, and I felt bad for him. And he kept humping things. And then my older cousin Detmar was like, "Hey, you want to help me out?" And I was like, "Oh, I guess you're an adult. You look like you know what you're doing, so I would like help to complete."
To complete. She said that like it's some badge of honor. So this next clip, she tells the exact same story to Dr. Drew, and I think it sheds the most light into how skewed her way of thinking is. It does get awkward because you can see that Dr. Drew knows that this isn't normal, but he skirts the situation as to not blame her, but her older cousin instead.
All right, let's get some dog play in here.
I feel like this is my future. I'm really into this.
Because this is going to be Bobby or is it going to be you?
Well, no, like I have 3 dogs now, and I'm gonna admit something that is not. So when I was younger, I was told that in the Philippines they don't neuter their dogs, and I found it to be really cruel for them to have testicles without a way to relieve themselves.
How old were you when this was going on?
About 8.
How did you know at 8 what that was?
So my older cousin had done it before me, and he was like, I think that he was doing it for some sexual reason,
Yes, he was.
He justified the way I felt, which was, oh no, you have to do it because it's cruel. It's basically like forcing a dog into a convent, not being able to relieve himself.
How did the whole concept of semen and testicles come into your mind at 8? Other than
Thank you. Finally, somebody's asking the right questions.
I don't think I put much thought behind it besides just, all right, well, he looks like he's enjoying it. Rolly did look happier.
And so now that results in you developing a impulse to put on a leather dog outfit?
Yeah,
It makes no sense to me how someone can have such a big smile and giggle while telling these stories. She comes off as almost proud of what she's done, like she thinks she's the, as Brendan Shaw would say, Saint Therese of dogs. It's even creepier knowing that she fosters dogs and has multiple animals at home, because it's definitely not normal to see a video of whatever that dog play was and think, oh yeah, that's the future with my dogs. To tie it off, I think Khalyla Kuhn is a deeply disgusting person, and nothing showcases that more than her own words and actions. I once viewed her simply as Bobby Lee's sexy girlfriend, but now I can't look at her the same. And the things we covered in this video aren't even the worst of it. So if you want to see me make more videos on her, let me know in the comments. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel.
She's just a pervert.
call me
You could combine.
I'm the dog father.